Hey, what's going on, guys? This is FreebsFPV. It's been a minute since I've made a video. I'm a little awkward right now because I'm just staring at a lens that's just staring right at me with no emotions or feelings, nothing. But I am here today to make a video, more of a series of things. Lately, I've been getting more people asking me questions about drone things, you know, troubleshooting, configurating, also just random questions about drones. So I figured with that I should get a whole like tutorial tips and tricks kind of thing going. So for the first video, I want to make a beginner's guide on how to get started into FPV. I wanted to start with the basics just because I myself am still learning everything, and I feel that me hopping into something more advanced would just throw people off, especially newcomers that want to get into the hobby. And I know a lot of new people want to know these small little things. Even people who have been in the hobby for a while, I feel this is a good refresher to kind of like remind yourself, like, this is all I need. Because I feel sometimes we just bring in too much and then we're like, crap, I don't know what to do. But also I know a lot of people keep it pretty simple, so I'm just here to relay some information to you to hopefully help you out in your FPV journey. A little backstory on my FPV journey. I started back in October of 2020 and it just progressed since then. I haven't done any kind of like big work or anything in this year. I'm hoping this year I step out of my comfort zone and decide to work on projects and start working with people to actually make a portfolio and create a whole thing for me so I can start doing more business stuff and whatnot. So hopefully this year, I have good feelings about this year. 2022 is going to be nice, and I hope it's great for everyone else too, because like, dude, we need a good year. These past couple years have been rough. But yeah, now that you kind of have a little snippet of how I got into it, I mean, I feel like everyone got into it somewhat the same way. They see a drone, they're like, that's freaking cool, I want to fly it. How do I fly it? Here you go, learn this. Cool, done. So things that you can do to get yourself started. First thing that I did was research. I mean, anything that I get into or want to like invest in, I definitely do research beforehand. It's great to do that. That way you have a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into and knowing exactly what you need to get for a good price and whatnot. Now, with that said, there are different types of ways to buy drones. You can build it. They have pre-built ones. There's also starter kits, which I mentioned earlier on how I got started. Starter kits are the best way, I would say, to get started into FPV because they are just tiny whoops that come with their own goggles and controller. And since it's such a small drone, flying that around, you don't have to worry about breaking anything or crashing. I would say that if you end up crashing into something that can tip over, of course that's going to fall over. But I mean, for the majority of it, you're going to bump into things and not have to worry about it. Now with starter kits, it's great because it's not going to break your bank or anything. And plus with it, it's a tiny drone. You can fly around and you're not going to crash into things and break things or the drone. And it's just a great way to get yourself comfortable with controlling a drone. The starter kit that I usually suggest for people is the Beta FPV Cetus. Now this is a pretty simple starter kit. You get your controller, drone, and goggles. It's great because it has different functionalities in it that helps people progress into flying better with just one drone. With like auto leveling and also different types of modes, horizon, level, acro. It helps a lot for people to learn and get ease into it and to be able to progress into bigger drones and to fly better too. Now, when that's all said and done and you feel like you can start moving up on things, there are bigger quads that you can get. For example, this isn't a bigger quad, but this is a 3-inch quad that you can get either pre-built or you can build it yourself. This one is currently under construction. I had to replace the stack because the ESC was messed up, and I'm too lazy to configure connections from this to another ESC because it's two different brands. Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that. But 3-inch drones are definitely a great way to progress into the next thing because it's got that power, but it's not going to be big where it's big and intimidating for people to fly. This is definitely the next great step up for people, but for now, start with the starter kits. Well, now that you have your starter kits and whatnot, what else can we do? Well, there are different types of configurators that you can go into to set up your drones. For example, we have Betaflight, KISS, and Flight 1. Those are the three that I see mostly used around. There's also EmuFlight and iNav. EmuFlight's definitely one that is being used a lot too, but I don't see it as much as the other three that I mentioned. With these configurators, you're going to be setting up your motor directions, how your drone is going to fly with PID tuning, and also the rates on how fast your drone is going to spin or go. There's a lot to it, and I want to make videos on Betaflight, but I definitely know those are going to take a bit longer to make just because of editing and being able to convey everything precisely without having any hiccups. So I will be making those as they're going to be a work in progress, so definitely keep an eye out for Betaflight tutorials. So, starter kits, configuration, what's next? I mean, those are really essential things that you need, but I can also talk about different types of things. Let's talk about goggles. Now, there are two different types of video feeds that you can get with goggles. You have your analog video and then your high definition or digital video. Analog was the start of things when it came to FPV. It was basically, you know, security cameras, anything that had an analog connection to it. You would use that and go onto a certain channel to connect to it and be able to fly around. Now with that, there is also, you know, breakups and whatnot, and the breakup on that is very staticky. It's like a television, you know, or watching security cameras that have bad connection. It's got that crazy static bars and whatnot. But analog people or analog like companies have come out with their own digital form factor to compete with other digital form factors that are out there, and the quality on those are significantly better than the analog. I find that the interference on the digital side of those types of goggles are a bit better. It's more of a block kind of thing, somewhat pixelated but not pixelated at the same time. Don't know how to really explain it because I haven't personally flown that type of goggles yet. Now digital, besides the ones that I mentioned just now, is another step. DJI is the leading company in digital FPV stuff, so when you get that, you're getting top-notch quality looking stuff where you can see clearly through your goggles, not having any type of static breakup or whatnot. I will say though, the breakup on it is more pixelated, as I mentioned with the, you know, analog side. Well, we're gonna go with the company Sharkbite coming out with the digital stuff. Theirs is pixelated but not pixelated in a way. You still get a static feel to it, but the DJI side is a more of a pixelated look, so you're definitely gonna get those blocks that pop in if you get really bad connection, and that definitely throws things off. Not to mention that DJI has a higher latency compared to analog connections, along with the digital side with Sharkbite. Now that we got the basics out of the way, I want to get more into extra parts and little tips and tricks that I didn't know or wish I knew getting into FPV. The first thing that I realized when I was getting into FPV was I need batteries, props, and battery straps. I didn't realize how much money I would be spending on these three different things. And it's definitely like a bump in the road when you're trying to, you know, get everything set up, because LiPo batteries are not cheap. Propellers are cheap, but you need a lot of them in order to really fly around. Like, I've had sessions where I've broken like 4 sets, and I had 6 that I brought with me just because I knew I might break a couple more. But yes, LiPo batteries, props, battery straps. The battery straps are important too, because if you crash and, you know, you smack that ground hard, your strap could break and then you don't have straps to hold your battery down. So that's definitely something you want to get too. So those 3 things I definitely find to be the most important when it comes to buying extra things for your quad and your FPV stuff. Another tip that I found useful when getting into FPV was also to understand the difference in motors and batteries and how they work together. When I first started, I purchased a bind and fly nozzle from iFlight, and I didn't know the difference between, you know, 4S and 6S, so I had a 4S quad and I decided to throw a 6S battery on it. Now luckily nothing bad happened. Motors were totally fine. I only did it once and I never did it again, but after doing that, I had a couple of my friends say like, yo man, you should be careful. Higher kV with those types of batteries can really burn out the motors, and it's definitely something you want to keep an eye on. So definitely understand the difference between 4S and 6S when you're picking out your quads. One more! Quick note, I forgot to add something in. One thing that you're gonna need too, along with your batteries, props, and all that, is a battery charger. You're not gonna really get anywhere without charging your battery, so yeah, I need to throw that in there. Okay, back to the rest of it. One other thing before I wrap everything up, very important that I think people should have along with everything else, is to buy a simulator. I can't stress enough how much a simulator has helped me in flying, changed my whole progress in learning. It's a great way to get yourself comfortable with your drone and to also be able to learn new tricks and to be able to try things out that you don't feel comfortable doing in real life. I can attest that simulators have helped out a lot because of the fact that I had a point where I felt like I wasn't progressing at all, and that's because I was going out every day, 3 packs a day, just doing the same thing over and over, not trying new things and whatnot because I was scared of crashing my drone. So a simulator, you can go on there and crash all you want and learn new things without having to worry about it. So I highly recommend it, and I highly suggest that you practice a lot on there more than you do in real life, but also keep it balanced. Keep it balanced, because you do one and then not do the other, I feel like you're not going to be able to fully understand what you're learning and stuff. So yeah, definitely do that. And that's gonna wrap everything up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been a minute since I've created something like this, so I hope that this isn't as cringy as I feel that it is. So thank you guys. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and give a like on the video. Also hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try and make more tutorial videos more frequently. It's kind of hard when I have school going on and work and, you know, just the world's in shambles. So I'm gonna do my best, and I hope that you guys are doing your best. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot as I'm trying to progress and build this channel into something bigger than just simple videos and whatnot. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!